So our journey has taken us through very many different paths. We see that we represent different institutions in the community, different disciplines, different professions, the wide range of what I like to call Jewish civil service. But we've been motivated to do our work because of the future of the American Jewish community is at stake, and nothing less. There's an urgency that we feel about our work that's unparalleled in the American Jewish community, perhaps in all of Jewish history. With all the changes that have been taking place recently, it's clear to me that the Jewish community that's being shaped as we speak will look nothing like the Jewish community that we knew until only recently. Our motivation for being here can be heard in the echo of the oft-quoted text from Pirkei Avot. Rabbi Tarfon used to say, the day is short, there's much work to be done, yet the laborers are lazy even though the wages are great and the householder is insistent. I would like us this afternoon to consider 5 imperatives that motivate our work. It's what I call the 5 imperatives of outreach. Number 1 is the demographic imperative, to reach out to those on the periphery, especially the intermarried. This seems to be the most practical, the most utilitarian of all of our motivations. But we also understand that the key to stemming demographic decline and actually increasing the American Jewish population is through outreach. It's what drives many, especially those concerned about survival and Jewish institutional survival at its own. Membership organizations are particularly mindful of the demographic imperative, as are those involved in fundraising campaigns. We know what the numbers are. We know what is at stake. Our challenge is to communicate to others, if they don't already feel it, the urgency that is necessary to drive our community efforts forward. But like those of us who understand that people participate in things Jewish for many reasons, we just have to make sure that once people have been brought to the gates of the community and to the doorway of our institutions, that we as a group can deliver on the promises of outreach and provide them with meaningful, transcendent experiences that provides them with meaningful memory. It's the remembering that will cause them to return. One thing for us to remember for sure is that it's not about the numbers, it's about the people. It's not about the numbers, it's about the people. Number 2 is the Zionist imperative, particularly persuasive after the recent trips that President Obama has made. The survival of the state of Israel is dependent in part on the largesse of the United States government. The decisions of the government are a result of the American Jewish political influence. The more voices in the Jewish community, the more impact on its decisions and its government. Israel is way down on the priority list of those in the generation that stands in front of us today, ready to take on the mantle of leadership. Israel is also particularly of less interest to intermarried couples and their families, for many reasons that are worth discussing, since it's too easy to put the blame on them without recognizing the challenge that we as supporters of Israel also face. But our obligation, so says the Zionist imperative for outreach, is to help increase that support. It's not an easy task, but it's important nonetheless. If we as a people can make the desert bloom, then we can open the hearts of many to the land and to the people as well. Number 3, the liberal imperative. Reaching those on the periphery is part of the general liberal agenda. It's this agenda that embraces all things liberal and to the left of center. we can probably, each of us, make our own list of such items. They include, for example, support for gay marriage, positions against the war in Iraq, concern over the human rights of Palestinians. I imagine that many of us would agree on such items, even if we agree about the particulars of some of them. And this may be a sufficient motivation for some of us to engage in the field of outreach. It's also among the members of the organizations that shape such a liberal agenda, by the way, that we find many of whom are on the periphery of the Jewish community. War may not be healthy for humans and other living things, for those who remember the anti-war sentiments of the 1960s. But outreach is, that is, healthy for humans and all other living things.